steam engine, for its type, is the fastest land vehicle. And the steam team are the power behind the freight and express services that make up the Northwestern Railway. These are the Northwestern Adventures. After Thomas's recent incidents with the jet engine, he used it one last time to relive the days he lost in time. He went back to the day before he traveled to 1922 as if nothing had happened. He was at the sheds trying to sleep when Percy woke him up.
Thomas, wake up! It's October 25th, 1959. Today's the day when the new mainland good engine Sir Tom had ordered arrives.
Don't you mean engines?
No, Sir Tom had specifically said he was ordering one engine from Scotland.
You know what? I will go to Nafford to greet the new engine. And if there's two, you can take my goods today, while I take my 3 coaches around.
Okay, I see that perfectly fair.
Meanwhile at Nafford, Thomas seemed to be right. There were indeed 2 engines instead of one in the shunter shed. They were talking quietly to each other.
I'm worried, Donny. What if Sir Topham Hatt finds out I shouldn't be here? I'll be sent away for sure. You'll be fine, Dougie. I heard about this railway, and the controller's very nice from what I heard. There's nothing you can worry about.
Okay, seriously, what?
Percy appeared so suddenly he gave the twins a shock. Thomas followed up alongside.
See, Percy? I was right.
This is a bit confusing for me. I don't know how you were right.
I'm going to take my coaches around.
And Thomas laughed as he went to the yard to find his coaches. As Percy was thinking about how Thomas predicted the mix-up, Fergus showed up and was just as surprised as Percy.
2 engines? I thought Sir Topham Hatt only ordered 1 goods engine.
The twins looked worryingly at each other.
I must inform him about the mix-up.
The twins looked on as Fergus went to the station.
Hello, Fergus. Is something wrong?
There is, sir. Did you order 2 goods engines?
No, I'm pretty sure I only ordered 1.
Well, there's 2 in the shunter shed.
That's odd. I must get to the bottom of this.
He walked up the platform and approached the 2 engines.
Fergus wasn't joking. There really are 2 of you.
Do you have a problem with us?
As a matter of fact, I do. I swear I only ordered 1 engine. Now tell me, which one of you is 57646?
We don't know, sir.
How can you not know your own numbers?
They slipped off on the way here, sir.
I see. Well, I'll soon fix this mix-up, but in the meantime I'll get some new numbers painted on you. Looking at 2 identical engines is a little much for me.
Then he walked away. Not too long after, some painters came to paint numbers on the twins. Donald was 9 and Douglas was 10, but Sir Topham Hatt was planning to send one of them home. The engines were left in the sidings.
I'm still worried I'll be sent away, Donny. Who knows what they'll do to me back home?
But before Donald could reply, Duck showed up to show the 2 engines around. I really have my work cut out for me. Oh well, not a problem. Let me show you around the yard. Once the twins got used to the yard, they worked nicely. Even Edward, who was at the yard at the time, was impressed with them. Gordon, Henry, and James were sitting in the yard shed, and they were making fun of their whistles.
They sound like buses. Oh, ships!
I think we found some new friends for 10 cents and Drolin on the mainland.
These three engines then begin to laugh like crazy. Little did they know that Donald and Douglas were on both sides of them.
Yeah, wouldn't they be making fun of us, would you know?
Of course we weren't.
Yeah, we would never make fun of you.
Good.
The twins then left the yard, leaving three very confused engines behind.
I think I quite like these new engines.
Nobody has ever stood up to us before, though.
Well, I must be off. I have to collect a visitor from Vickerstown.
Gordon thundered down the main line. On his way, he saw the ditch by the closing sheds at Vickerstown. The same ditch where he fell in 7 years ago and had to be pulled out by James and Henry. He hated being reminded of this. When he saw the visitor, he forgot to be upset. There, standing next to him, was a large silver engine.
You must be the visitor. My name is Gordon.
Call me Silver Fox. Nice to see another engine from the LNER, especially after seeing loads of diesels these past few months.
I might as well take you to Tidmouth.
We can take as much time as we need to get there.
While Gordon and Silver Fox talking on their way to Tidmouth, Donald, Douglas, and Duck were already there. I've taught you almost everything you need to know about managing a yard. I must be off. I have to take these coaches to Neville at Croven's Gate. Goodbye.
Wait, Doc, you forgot a coach?
I didn't. But before they could say more, Duck was already out of sight.
Oh well, I'll just take this one to the yard.
Little did Douglas know the coach was Thomas's special coach, who was sleeping as she was shunted into the siding along with the rest of the coaches. Later, as Douglas was being turned around, he saw Thomas arrive in the station.
Hello, Donald. Hello, Douglas.
Then Thomas looked around, very confused.
What's on, Thomas?
Where's my coach?
Coach? What coach?
My special coach. She's always in that siding waiting for me to take down on my branch line. I need to find her.
Then Thomas looked to find his special coach. Donald noticed that Douglas had a very worried look on his face.
Something wrong, Douglas? Yes, there is. I must have put the special coach in the yard with the others. I'd better get it before Thomas finds out what happened to it.
As Douglas went back to the yard, it was too late. Henry was already taking the coaches away. Douglas tried to get Henry's attention, but he was too far to hear.
This is bad. Really bad. What will happen when Sir Topham Hatt finds out? He'll send me a wire for sure. We can't let that happen, Dougie. Wait, that's it. What's it? The painters painted broad new numbers on our tenders. But none of us. You mean? We can... Exactly that. Let's hurry before Thomas comes back.
The two had decided to swap tenders. Donald with Douglas's tender left to take some milk tankers to Marin. Just as he did, Thomas returned. He did not look happy at all.
I couldn't find my coach anywhere. I even went as far as Nafford with no luck. I wonder if Donald knows what happened. Hey Donald, do you know what happened to my special coach?
No, I do not.
Well, this train won't leave the station. The passengers will be cross.
And they were cross. The fat controller, who was on the train, stepped out.
What is the matter?
My special coach went missing, and I think Donald had something with it.
Do you know?
We'll soon get to the bottom of this.
Then he, along with several passengers, a guard, and even a policeman, walked over to Douglas, who still had Donald's tender. He was nervous and tried to hide it.
Oi, you! Silence! Let me do the talking. Donald, where's Douglas?
You'll have to take the milk to the station, sir.
I see. So here are the facts. Douglas was sent in the yard. The coach disappears. Douglas has disappeared as well. Draw your own conclusions, accept my apologies. A bus will be here to shortly take you to your desired locations.
The Fat Controller watched as the passengers walked back to the station. Birdie was sent to take the passengers. While this was happening, the Fat Controller wiped his eyes.
Something wrong, sir.
Douglas, why do you have Donald's gender?
Douglas was so nervous he ran backwards as fast as he could. Right into the signal box.
Oh dear. How's Donald gonna think of me crashing his tender into a signal box?
Mickey, Charlie, and Butch were sent to clean up the mess. Douglas could hear the laughing of an old brake van that was abandoned behind what was the signal box. When Donald returned, he was shocked to see his tender in pieces. The tenders were given back to their engines, leaving Douglas alone while Donald was at the works getting his tender fixed. It wasn't long before Gordon and Silver Fox made it to Titmuss.
What on earth happened here?
Maybe it has something to do with it.
You're a mucking nuisance. It's to leave you behind I've been wanting.
You can't! I'm essential!
Oh, you're nothing but a screeching and a noise when all's said and done. Essential this!
Ow!
I wonder where the other one is.
What?
There were two of them that were sent here in a mix-up.
How odd.
That night at the sheds, James could only grumble. He had to do Donald's work as well as his own.
I just don't get it. If only one engine was meant to alive, then how am I doing the work for two?
On what I heard, last time you complained like that, you crashed into some tar wagons.
Douglas and James argued and kept the others awake.
Do the other engines always argue like this?
I'm sorry to say that they do.
Soon, all were half awake or asleep, except for James and Douglas.
I'm sorry, others, Lud. There's something I need to tell ye. I'm only here because back home, engines of my kind are being withdrawn and scrapped. I was almost withdrawn there, but I escaped with Donald here. So I can't go back, James. I'll be scrapped for sure.
And the Fat Controller would never do that unless he was forced to.
Fat Controller? That seems a kinda lewd.
He's quite fine with it. I'll tell him about your situation tomorrow morning.
You can't! If he knows this wasn't a mess-up, he'll have no choice but to send me back.
Okay, I won't tell him then.
Little did the two engines know, Silver Fox heard the whole thing. The next day, Douglas was sent to shut with Edward at Wellsworth. He decided to tell him the whole story.
I see. You'll find Douglas. Henry was also sent here during a mix-up. Then he has rescued me from a bridge about to collapse. And he has worked here ever since.
You're right, Edward. I'll be fine. I need to stop worrying and start enjoying myself.
Oh no! There's James.
I don't have time to chat. I have to focus on my strength trying to get this train over Gordon's Hill. Would you like to help me, Edward?
I'd love to help. But I need to keep this yard in order. Maybe Douglas would help.
Of course I will. I'll help push it up. Oh no.
Miss me, Douglas?
Of course no. Let's get this over with, James.
James pulled his train while Douglas pushed. They were about halfway up when Douglas started hearing some strange noises.
Did you hear something, James?
What sort of something?
Sort of a cracking noise.
But before James could respond, the spiteful brakeman was crushed to pieces.
That's what that noise was.
Is everything okay?
I'm fine. But I don't think the brake van is.
He was right. What used to be the spiteful brakeman was now a pile of wood in the middle of the rails. 13, the police chief that took over when Ming retired in 1958, began an investigation.
I don't know what happened, officer. I was pushing the train. I heard some noises, and before I knew it, he was in pieces.
I guess you don't know your own strength sometimes. It wasn't your fault, Douglas. He was left behind the signal box for a reason. He was due for an overhaul since the Great Depression, but he never received it.
As 13 took the remains away, the Fat Controller spoke to Douglas.
You have left me in a very awkward predicament. I was going to send Donald away and keep you, but now I don't know, Douglas. I don't know.
This is really bad. What if he does send me away?
I said it at Wellsworth, and I'll say it here. You will be fine, Douglas.
Douglas wasn't so sure anymore. Fat Controller didn't speak to Douglas for a few weeks. He also didn't speak to Donald when he returned from the works. Winter came early in 1959, and all the engines were hard at work clearing the snow from the track. One December morning, Donald, Douglas, and Duck were alone in the sheds. I've been called to help clear a really bad snow blockage up near Henry's tunnel. They say the entire tunnel is buried.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Dougie? I think so. Doc, let us take care of this blockage for you.
Are you sure?
Nothing we couldn't handle back in Scotland.
If you say so. There's the workman's coach and some extra snow plows in the yard. Just use those. So the two set off to find the blockage. Soon, they found it almost by complete accident.
Oh dear. Doc wasn't there joking when he said the entire tunnel was buried. I can barely even tell it's a tunnel at all. Not a problem for us. We can get this cleared by the end of the day.
Anybody there?
It's Henry. Poor engine must be frozen to the flames in there. Are you okay, Henry?
Oh, I'm alright. I just hope my passengers are as well.
Passengers? You mean there's people in there?
Yeah, 4 coaches full of people.
We better work fast. You clear the snow while I get Henry and his train out of there.
So the workman got a rope from the coach and attached it to the back of Henry's train, and Douglas with all his strength pulled Henry and all of his passengers to safety. Luckily, no one was hurt. Just a little cold.
Thanks, Douglas, but I'm not sure if I can get this train to Crovan's Gate.
Leave it to me, Henry. I'll take it there while Donald finishes clearing the tunnel. Is it okay with you, Donny? It is.
So it was arranged. After it was clear enough for Douglas to pass, he rushed as fast as he could not to be late. He made it to the station where the passengers congratulated him before Duncan took them away.
Good job, Douglas.
Thank you, Duncan.
Never in the year and a half I've known him has he ever given someone a compliment before. I suggest you don't get used to it.
I guess you're right, Scarloy.
I just simply don't know what to do with him.
Huh?
I don't understand how I got 2 engines sent to me when I only ordered 1.
Is the Fat Controller talking about me and Donny?
Alright, I shouldn't be thinking about this too much. Don't worry, your goods engine will be back to Scotland by the end of the month.
It's true. He's gonna get rid of me.
What?
I overheard the Fat Controller talking about sending me back to Scotland.
Well, that doesn't sound good. I know the thing controller would never do that with us.
I've got to take this to Vickerstown. Goodbye, Scar Louie.
Goodbye, Douglas. I think I know how I can help.
Silver Fox made it back to the sheds and told the entrance what he heard. Then he also told him what Douglas had told James that night in the sheds.
I wanted to help, but don't know how I can.
Later that day, Percy told Edward about Douglas.
A deputation would be a good solution to your problem. It's where engines tell the Fat Controller something's wrong.
That's it. That's what we need. But what if the other engines make me do it?
Well, if you couldn't, why don't I give the deputation for you?
Thanks, but I'll think I'll be fine. Edward says we need a desperation.
Then he explained what Edward had told him. Did you say, tell the Fat Controller? There was a long silence.
Why doesn't Percy be our disputation?
Me? Why me?
All in favour of Percy being the distillation? Whistle now. Then it's settled. Hurry, Percy, before the twins return. We'll surprise them.
Hello, Percy. Is something wrong?
They made me a desperation, sir.
You mean a deputation, Percy?
I guess so. It's about Donald and Douglas. They say if you send them back to Scotland, they'll be turned into scrap. Please, sir, don't.
Thank you, Percy. That will do.
That evening when Donald and Douglas returned to the sheds, they saw the Fat Controller waiting for them.
I had a deputation today. I accept your feelings, but don't approve of the interference. Henry told me what you did in the snow, and I am very pleased with you both. What new colour paint should I paint you?
Blue, sir. Do we just like Edward and Gordon, sir?
Right. We'll paint your names on you so there's no more incidents.
Wait. Does that mean...
It means...
But the rest of what the Fat Controller said was drowned out in the whistles and cheers from James, Duck, Donald, Douglas, Percy, Henry, and Gordon. By the time snow melted, it was spring. The twins were boating new blue paint with red stripes with gold and red nameplates to match. Now Donald and Douglas take turns with their job. One usually works in the main one while the other helps Edward and Arthur on the Brendan branch. But when summer came and after Silver Fox returned home, the railway had an interesting predicament to deal with. But that is for another story.